Okay, so I'm sitting here. Obviously, as you can see, I'm doing some decluttering and whatnot in here. Um, I'm rearranging some things. I've been at it for a while, periodically off and on, so it's a chaotic mess in here right now. Um, but at the same time as I'm decluttering and reorganizing my physical environment, it is also taking care of this disorganization and this clutter that's within my mind. So it's kind of straightening it all out. That's a whole different topic though. But anyway, as I was going through stuff, I came across my Raw Thoughts folder. My Raw Thoughts folder is a folder that I keep, and when I get these raw thoughts, I will journal and write about them, and then what I like to do is tear out whatever that thought was that I just wrote down and journaled about, and I put it in this folder, and then I like to go back to it later. The reason why I don't just carry around a specific journal and or notebook or whatever and write about it is because I'm in so many different places all the time that I have some of these raw thoughts that are literally written on like scrap pieces of paper or the back of receipts and things like that. So I'm just never in the same place to where I can pull that out and have access to that. And so I use whatever's available to me. And so that's why I have this folder. It just works a little easier. But anyway, as I was in here and kind of going through, I was looking through some of my past stuff, some of these past raw thoughts, things that I have written, and just looking through them, and I came across one that just kept popping up at me. And that is a couple of them actually, but the one I'm going to share with you is about life's little curveballs. And I've had some of these curveballs really taking place. And as I look back on it in the past couple of years, I've been hit with so many of these curveballs. And it's initially been my choice as to how I perceive them and run with them. So sometimes everything that you think you know about your life and how it's going just totally comes crashing down. Life throws you this curveball and it knocks all the bottles over. And it's just, you have this shattered, chaotic mess that you are trying to figure out how in the hell you're going to pick up all of the pieces and navigate through this mess of shattered bottles, shattered dreams, shattered goals. It just feels like it's all just a just a mess of crap that you now have to try and figure out how to navigate through and piece it all back together and throw out what doesn't need to be there and sort through it all. And you're kind of left wondering why in the hell that even happened to you in the first place. We're all going to get these moments where that stuff happens, where we really feel like we're moving in the right direction, and then life throws us this curveball and it shows us a whole different perspective, and we're just kind of left dumbfounded and stunned. We're oftentimes going to encounter other people that have their place in this shattering of our bottles and this curveball that's thrown at us. These people, oftentimes they're the ones that are going to lie to us. They're the ones that are going to lie about us. They're the ones that are going to stab us in the back and betray us. They're going to leave us feeling hurt, and they're going to leave us feeling the pain and suffering, misery, anger, sadness. All of that is going to come and go, and we're going to experience it all. And a lot of times there's another person that's part of that equation that's happening. This just happens to everybody, but when it does, you're actually given two choices. So you can either let all of those negative emotions in those situation, you can let all of this mess just consume you and overwhelm you and stress you out and frustrate you, or you can let it all go. Okay, you can just walk away from the mess and just let it be. You can acknowledge that it's there. You can embrace the feelings that it's induced, and then you can just let it go. Sweep it up, clean it up, throw it out, right? You can start over again. Just because the bottle that had your goal or your dream on it is shattered, that doesn't mean that the goal and the dream itself is gone. It just means that the physical visual of that goal and dream is gone. That's all. But the initial intention of that goal and dream is still there. You cannot really move on in your life if you don't let that mess go. You cannot cross this bridge if you're too busy testing the waters out on the shore, right? You need to let the water of all those emotions flow underneath the bridge and let them flow away from you. Watch them go. Wave them all along. Wave them off. See you later, right? You need to forgive yourself, and you need to forgive the people that are around you, the people that are shattering your bottles, that are throwing you that curveball. You need to forgive them and just let those things go. Life is not always perfect, and things are not always going to go as planned. But where one door closes, another one opens. So every time the universe sends you one of these curveballs and it feels like everything is just crashing down on you and becoming a chaotic mess, you need to remember that all that is really happening is the universe is removing what is no longer in alignment with your life anymore. And you need to allow those things to go and remember that the universe is giving you new opportunities. It's clearing space for new bottles, for new dreams, new goals, and it's getting rid of the old. You get to decide whether or not you're going to step over that threshold and go through that new opportunity or that new door. That's kind of the beauty of it all, is that you're given that free choice of how you want to do it. But the universe is going to continue to have you going through this same revolving door over and over again until you finally decide you're going to take this new opportunity and run with it. So you get to kind of make this decision on whether or not you're going to stay stuck in the muddy water on the shore, or whether or not you're going to go through the door and cross the bridge to kind of see what's on the other side. I guarantee you that what is on the other side is going to be much more beneficial and in alignment with where you are in your growth than being and staying stuck right where you are, okay? Because you're not going to move forward if you just stay stuck in the same spot. You can only move forward by actually physically moving and doing that. So take those opportunities and run with them. If they work, cool. If they don't, the universe is going to throw them out too, and they're going to provide you with new ones. You're always going to be giving more and more opportunities, but you have to know when to let go and let the old ones go. Let the emotions go, let the chaotic mess go, your broken bottles, your emotional waters, just let all of that go, so that you can embrace what's being presented to you in a new light. And the other thing is, if you're stuck, like if you're standing in the mud of this murky water and you're trying to move forward, but you feel like your shoes are just stuck in there and you can't break free, that's because there's something holding you back from doing so. So take your shoes off. Okay, you can go barefoot. You don't have to bring your shoes with you. They do not enable you to walk. So let that stuff go. Figure out what it is that's holding you back from making that movement and going through, crossing over the threshold and entering into that new door and crossing over the bridge to get to the other side. Take off whatever it is that is holding you back. Cut your ties to that, cut your cords to that, and let that remain. Let that just leave it be where it's at. And just go. Your shoes or whatever it is that's holding you back is completely useless to you if it does not allow you to move forward and grow. Sometimes it can be really hard and difficult to figure out what exactly it is that's holding you back. But if you really sit and you do some some really deep thinking about that and analyzing, and even journaling. If you journal about it, make yourself a list, a pro and con or whatever, of different things that might be holding you back, and really sit there, do a little shadow work, whatever you need to do to bring yourself clarity as to what it is that's holding you back. You'll be able to figure that out, and you'll be able to move forward. You'll be able to take off the shoes and just leave them there. Maybe those shoes are meant for somebody else and not you. So one thing that I want to point out is that in life is about loving and forgiving. And this loving and forgiving is not only to other people, but it's also to yourself. So as you're letting things go, you also need to be loving them for the experience that you've been given, and forgiving them for kind of making this big mess for you. But love it, forgive it, and then let it go. And the same goes for yourself. Love your old self. Love your new self. Forgive your old self and forgive your new self for all of the mistakes and stuff that may have happened in the past, or that are happening in the present moment, or maybe happening in the future. This is going to allow you to actually truly live, because you can't actually really live your life either if you don't know how to love. And you can't love if you don't know how to forgive. So it all kind of goes hand in hand. There is always going to be beauty in the chaos of life. Always. You just need to know how to look for it and how to see it. You need to remember that you create your reality, you create your perspective, and you're in control of your life. So any kind of mishaps or messes that are thrown at you, you're in control of how those messes and those mishaps play out in your life. You're in control of the way that they affect you. They can affect you in a positive way, or they can affect you in a negative way, and you get to control that. Because within oneself lies the entire world. So if you know how to look and learn from that, you're going to notice that the door's there, and that you hold the key to that door. However, nobody on earth can ever give you the key or the door. The universe provides the door, and you have the key. It's all up to you whether or not you unlock the door and walk through it or not. So you are in full control of the whole mess. You're in control of everything in your perspective. This room, for instance, to most people, it looks like this. It's like this huge giant mess, right? I mean, I have stuff laying all over, just random piles of stuff. But to me, like, I am going through here and I'm finding so much personal growth that I've made. I mean, I found this folder, right, that I had started so long ago, of all of the thoughts that just were coming to me during this huge moment and period of my life where there was so much spiritual growth going on, and just all these like aha moments where I was figuring things out about myself and about the world around me. And so to me, like, it's awesome. I've found this, and I've been able to look back through this folder and really see the growth that I've made. I'm seeing unfinished projects that is making these creative gears flow, and now it's like I want to engage and I really want to get down to business and do them. I am coming across the stuff that I was working on for my business, for Soulscapes. I'm seeing workshops that were in the process of being made, and seminars and web events and ceremonies and new blossoming ideas that just kind of were put on hold because life sent me a curveball and it threw me in a different direction. I was not ready to take on all of that responsibility of doing those things, and so the universe sent me a curveball and said, okay, you need to slow down right now and focus on something else. And it gave me that to focus on. And what I needed to focus on was me, and what I needed to focus on was actually finishing school, like, and really engaging into that. And I needed to focus on family because I had been so consumed and wrapped up with creating these events and these seminars and these workshops and stuff for Soulscapes and getting the business off the ground that I was neglecting myself. I was neglecting my my education with my school, and the wisdom I was receiving from that. I was neglecting that. I was neglecting my family. And so I was thrown one of those life's curveballs, which forced me to have to take a step back and put that all on pause. Just slow down for a little bit. And I did. I slowed down for like a year. And now school is done and things are balancing out a little bit more. I have a little bit more time to kind of focus on all of that stuff. And now here I am decluttering and deorganizing in here, reorganizing things, purging, getting rid of stuff that I don't need anymore. I just did 12 giveaways where I got rid of stuff all the time that might help somebody else, but I didn't need it anymore. And, so here I am doing that, and look what pops up is more content, more things that I can utilize. The projects that I had started are ready to be finished now. So it just kind of goes to show you, like, when you're thrown one of those curveballs, it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's just a blessing in disguise, and you need to know how to look at it and how to perceive it in a positive light.